Fresh pasta made with a juicer is really good, but it's even better with some vegetable juice in it. Hi, it's Dan with EUJUICERS.COM, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make fresh spinach pasta. It's pretty simple. There's only a few things you need. First of all, you need a juicer that can make pasta. That's going to be a horizontal juicer, a juicer that looks like this. This is a Asana 707. It's our most popular juicer. It's the one I actually own myself. But there's a lot of juicers from other manufacturers that also can do this, that look like this, from Huron, from Omega, different brands. And this is a horizontal juicer, unlike a vertical, which is that cylindrical one. Those can't make pasta. Centrifugal juicer, the high-speed, really noisy ones, those can't make pasta. It's got to be something that looks like this. And it also needs to have two things that come with it, which is included with most horizontal juicers. First one is a blank screen. You need this. Absolutely necessary to make pasta. What this does, instead of squeezing things out, this is just solid all the way around. And anything that goes into it just is crushed and goes out this end. It's pretty simple. It's also called a homogenizing screen. And the other thing you need is some way to turn that dough that's going to be coming out into pasta shapes. That is a pasta nozzle set. You can see I've got some here. This one comes with 4 nozzles. One of them is just for extruding like breadsticks, sorbet, nut butters, things like that. But these other 3 do have different pasta shapes. There's one for spaghetti, one for angel hair pasta, and then one for noodles. I'm going to be using the one for noodles. The other thing you need is some place to put the pasta when you're making it, because as you'll see, it comes out really fast and it's sticky. You need some way to dry it. I actually just bought this yesterday. Excuse me, this is a pasta drying rack. I've never used it. This will be my first time. I'm curious to see how it goes. And the reason I bought this was because last time I made pasta, I put it onto a plate. Looked really good. I kind of spun the plate. I was making spaghetti. Looked super nice. But then when it came time to cook, it was all stuck together. It was one big lump. I had to just squeeze it into a tube and refeed it into the juicer. So I'm hoping this makes drying a little easier. Another thing you could do is just lay out the pieces of pasta on a floured surface, like a floured cutting board or a floured a towel, something like that. I've seen people use coat hangers, things like that. So you just need to find some way to dry the pasta, otherwise you'll just be feeding it through again. Now the recipe itself is pretty simple. Pasta recipe, this is an egg pasta recipe, and it just calls for 100 grams of flour, 1 egg, salt to taste, and about 2 tablespoons of liquid, just so you can mix it in a certain way to a good consistency. Now just keep that ratio up. I actually have 300 grams of flour, so I have 3 eggs here. I probably won't process that. That's going to make a lot of pasta. And I've got a little bit of salt, and then some spinach. Now the spinach I'll juice. The good thing about spinach juice is a little bit goes a long way. So just a little bit of spinach juice is going to add a good flavor and a good color to this, which we'll see in a second. So I'm going to use the juicer here. I have the fine juicing screen. The Asana comes with a coarse juicing screen for soft fruits, things like that, but you want to use the fine juicing screen with the little holes for things like leafy greens. And the good thing about using a horizontal juicer with spinach pasta, not only is this the only kind of juicer that can make pasta, but horizontal juicers are the very best juicers for leafy greens. So it's a really ideal situation. So I'm going to start and make some juice and then start mixing some pasta. So that's the last of the spinach. I'll just let it kind of drip out here. And what I'm going to do now is just mix this together. I'll just make a little kind of crater in the middle here of this flour. You can use different kinds of flours depending on what you like. I'm just using wheat flour, but in a thicker form designed for pasta. I often use whole wheat flour. You can use different types of grains, gluten-free. It's just up to you what you prefer. And then I'll just crack the eggs in here and start mixing. If you have a food processor, it'll go even better, or even with a hand mixer. But all I got here is my spoon, so let's see how it goes by hand. And once this is mixed together, I'll put in a little salt, and then I'll add some of this juice. Notice I got a pretty good yield. That was about 300 grams of spinach. And again, spinach doesn't have much juice in it, but these juicers do a pretty good job getting the most liquid out. All right, the consistency is getting pretty thick. I'm gonna add some of this juice now. And the amount you're gonna add is just based on the consistency of this dough. Again, if you've got a food processor or a blender, this will go really fast, but it's kind of fun to do it by hand as well. I'll just mix it up until I get something that'll form kind of a soft ball. Then I'll pull up a cutting board, flour it, and kind of do the final kneading on there. So I've got it at a good consistency here. What you want to do now is make it into tubes that'll fit into your feeding tube. So something like this, yeah, that should go pretty well. Now this is the tricky part. Once you run it, the pasta will work its way through, the dough will, and then it'll start extruding, and it comes out pretty fast. So ideally it's a two-person job, but if not, you just need to turn off the motor, cut it, hang it, turn it back on, get some more coming out. So let's see how it goes. I've just about filled the rack already. I still have more. Of course, you could cook this and then refill the rack, or move them down a bit, make more space. They're actually pretty easy to handle once they've been processed. The ones that stick together, actually, notice these already are kind of stiff. You can make room and you can separate them. It's not that difficult. And then from here, all you do is just put it in some boiling water. Remember, fresh pasta cooks a lot faster than dried pasta. These will cook up in about 2 to 3 minutes. So that's all. That's how to do it. Again, all you need is a horizontal juicer with a pasta set. Make some vegetable juice of your choice, add it to the flour and egg and a bit of salt, and you're ready to go. Hope you liked this video. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I do read all of those and I like to answer your questions. So that should do it. I'm Dan with EUJUICERS.COM, and I'll see you next time.